Grassroots racing in North Carolina is a pretty big deal. How big? This big. It's a hot Friday night in July, and we're at Wake County Speedway. And at tracks like this, all over North Carolina, every weekend, you'll see Grassroots racing. This is where it starts. Some of these teams, some of these drivers live right around the corner. Some of them have traveled as far as 2-3 states away to be at a track like Wake County Speedway.
LeithCars is here, guys. They stepped up big tonight. They're putting on a big show.
This track, pretty historic, dates back to 1962. It started out as a clay dirt track. It's a quarter-mile paved asphalt track now since the late 80s. And we're gonna get some of those stories of the drivers and the teams and the families and the folks here at the track that volunteer and put on a show for you, the race fan, every Friday night. One of the drivers with us here tonight who is going to be racing in the USAC Midgets class. Those are the cars you see behind us. Jessica Bean. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us on 0 to 60 TV and LeithCars.com. And what is a midget car? I see they look like smaller versions of what I would call like the World of Outlaws race cars that you see with the big spoilers and they go flying around. But those are like dirt track cars, I guess, right? This is asphalt. So what is the USAC midget car?
A midget is kind of a smaller sprint car, what the World of Outlaws are, and of course they have a wing. And our series strictly runs on pavement. They do have midgets that run on dirt. Our midgets are solely Ford Focus, four-cylinder engines. We only weigh 1150, so basically 1,100 pounds. So that's where we get our speed from. We're such a light car with that kind of horsepower.
Are you saying the engines come out of a Ford Focus?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Jessica, thank you for joining us today. It's such a pleasure to have you, and a real pleasure to eyeball your car. I have to tell you, I had one of these when I was 6 years old, except it had pedals in it. I noticed yours doesn't.
Well, it does.
We get well, those pedals, right. Yeah. But so when you drop your right foot, I mean, what sort of speeds are we talking about out there?
Well, it depends on the track. Here, I'm going to say our probably top speed is 75.
Yeah.
This small of a track, but
yeah.
I mean, we can get over 100.
And with tight corners, how does that feel to you? Do you feel a lot of pressure on the corners and?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of G-force, yes.
Yeah. I'll bet it is. So 11 years in these cars. What was the quarter midget like? I mean, it must have been as big as your fingernail, right?
Close, yes. It's basically a quarter size of the midget, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's where a lot of these kids get their start. We only require an age limit. So you get to be 12 years old to start in these cars.
12 years old,
yes.
Right, yeah. And do you know all your competitors? I mean, do you keep a live rivalry going during the week so when you come on the weekends, you can really be fierce and tear each other up? Or?
Well, I mean, we all have rivals, of course, but this group of people, we're all pretty close friends, and we all get along for the most part.
Jessica Bean with the USAC Midgets, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Outside of our NASCAR sponsorships and the occasional demolition derby, the LeithCars.com 210 race at Wake County Speedway was our biggest local motorsports event to date, and we brought plenty of our friends to the party. It was a Friday night full of prizes, NASCAR legend autographs, and door-to-door short track racing at what Wake County Speedway calls America's favorite bull ring. All right, one of the cool things about Wake County Speedway and being here tonight for the LeithCars.com 210 is that there's so many different classes of race cars. In fact, there's 7 different races on the schedule tonight. Of course, we just spoke with Jessica Bean with the USAC Midgets, and now we've got one of the classes that is a big draw at Wake County and other short tracks like this all over the state, the late model class. And we've got the driver-owner of one of the late model cars here, Daniel Van Cannon. And Daniel, thanks for joining us on LeithCars.com 0 to 60.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Appreciate y'all being here.
How long have you been racing?
This is my first year in a big car. I drove several years back in a 4-cylinder. My daddy raced growing up, and just kind of started out in a big car though.
Did he happen to start here at Wake County?
Yeah, he run here back when it was dirt, and he run a lot of Orange County and Kinley, other local places.
Now, can we get a look at this car? I mean, you go on 40, you do not see motor cars like this. I race on 40 regularly, but I'm certain I don't get up to speeds like you do, Daniel.
No.
Can you give us a notion? I mean, how quick in a big car like this?
It's pretty quick. It'll set you back a little bit, especially around the turns.
Even those tight corners,
Yeah.
what are we going around those tight corners? About 90?
No, we ain't that fast out here. No.
You can't get around.
No,
It's
not
too
here.
big to get around the
yeah,
corner
yeah,
at 90.
Yeah, a little too much weight. Yeah.
So this is a thrilling sport for
Yes.
you.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Better than sitting home on a Friday night
Yes.
with everybody watching television.
That's right.
Well,
Yes,
that's great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how many races a year for you, Daniel?
Probably about 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, between two different tracks.
Daniel, we're going to wish you good luck tonight.
Hey, I appreciate it.
We're going to be watching from the stands. Too bad you don't have an earpiece, because I could be coaching you with all my experience of racing on 40.
That's all right. We got some radios in there.
Oh, well, the thing is, I could encourage you to just, Daniel, could you just go a little quicker
Yeah, just a
on
little
that
bit.
corner?
Just a little bit, yeah.
We
yeah.
want to thrill the
That's
audience,
right. That's
don't
right.
we?
We'll give it all we got.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, sir. Hey, we appreciate it.
Good luck to you tonight.
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Appreciate it.
Well, Steve, I've been coming out here to Wake County Speedway since the late 80s when it was still a dirt track. What do you think, now that you've been here to this historic racetrack, of your first experience at Wake County Speedway?
Well, Mark, the overriding impression here is these cars don't go fast. They go like a blur, and that's pretty exciting. With that, of course, the noise, the engines, you need really, to get up close in the pits, you better get earplugs. But you don't come out at a race to sit there and yawn, do you? This delivers.
Whether you do it for fun or you go from here and you go up the levels and then we end up seeing you at Charlotte in NASCAR like Timmy Hill.
Yeah.
It starts at places like this. Yeah. Steve, thank you so much for being here with me, and thank you for watching. Follow 0 to 60 TV and Leith Cars and all the cool videos that we do. At least I hope you think they're cool. On our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, if you're looking for a car, you come to the right place, LeithCars.com.